Yo, what's going on, gang? Listen, graphics, Warzone, frames, FPS, we need more of it as Verdansk is out. As you know, Verdansk is out and everybody's ripping it, so we're gonna need to be able to run it, especially if we have Boo Key's computer. So I'm gonna show you the settings I run and some tips and tricks I like to use. First thing I wanna just reiterate to you, if you are playing on PC, this setting right here, it's under display, it's called restart shaders preloading. This is huge. If you're having stuttering frames, if you're losing frames, if you're like, okay, I was just getting 180 a few hours ago and now I'm only getting 150 on average, restart your shaders and then restart your game. It really makes a difference. It almost like it clears the cache. Reflex latency, like low latency, you can do on or plus boost. I don't know why plus boost is on. It really doesn't like make too big of a difference for me whether it's on or on plus boost. I do have a more CPU bound case rather than GPU bound, so I run on rather than on plus boost. If you have a Boo Keys PC, run plus boost. It will actually make a big difference. VSync's off, custom frame rate limit, I mean it's 250 on everything. And then we will hop over to quality. Custom preset 1440 at 100 render resolution, dynamic resolution off, fidelity FX CAS, and then we got that set to 100 on the strength. I personally think that makes your game look so much better. That's why I run it. My VRAM scale, I'm rocking at 70. I do sometimes rock 80. I mean, you can really manipulate this. If you don't know what this is, at the very bottom of your screen, I'm gonna use my mouse for a second, but at the very bottom right here, you see this target? This is gonna move when I adjust my, oh, that's CAS, here we go. When I adjust this, you'll see the target actually move. So I have 11 total gigs I can use, but I can set a target for the usage to actually kind of reach out and touch. And they, you know, I like to stay like at least half of that, but gives you room to play with. Variable rate shading I leave on. Texture filter and estropic I have set to ultra. Everything, this is low, texture resolution's low. Detail quality set to normal. Particle resolutions very low. You can put this to high if you want, but this doesn't really have like a huge effect on frames. Like it says it's a medium effect. It's really not that crazy. You can watch the jump on the right side of the screen. The estimated usage at the bottom really doesn't even move when you're using something like that, so I wouldn't worry about it too terribly much. Detail quality, this one is something you can bump up to high, low. It doesn't really have a big GPU impact. I just run it to normal. Particle resolution, I don't need to see every little piece of dust flying through the air. That's going to be set to very low. I'll leave bullet impacts on for the firing range. That's really the only reason I'm doing that. Shader quality set to high, on-demand texture streaming set to minimal, and the allocated texture cache size is going to be 16. Shadow quality set to low, screen space shadows off, and low for shadow and lighting. Could not care less about quality. The only thing I don't recommend is doing very low, because then your shadows look like Minecraft pixels. You do not want that. I set it to low. It's not great, but it's better than if it was set to very low. I'm telling you, that's some you give yourself a little bit of shade. Tessellation, I have that set to all. I'm not too worried about that. It doesn't really have like a crazy effect. It has a little bit of effect, but nothing too wild. This is basically just grass. If you don't care about that, you can leave tessellation off if you like. I just like keeping it to all. It gives it a better look when I'm flying in. Volumetric quality is going to be set to low. Deferred physics quality is going to be off. Weather grid volumes quality is off, and water quality is off as well. As for view, we are going to do 120 FOV. It just reset on the motion reduction preset. Affected, wide, 90, and wide. So affected makes it to where your iron sight or sight is going to be smaller. So like, let's say my finger this close is independent, okay? At 120 affected, now this is your iron sight. When it's this small, the movement doesn't look as much as when it's this close. Now it looks like it's moving a ton. When it's way back here, it's barely moving, right? So the smaller it is, the less visual recoil you will actually see. So I set that to affected. Weapon field of view wide, which actually makes the gun a little bit smaller. So we go from here to like back here now. You can barely see it moving. As to where when it's right here, it looks like it's moving a ton. Right here, it doesn't look like it's going crazy. We have world motion blur set to off. Weapon motion blur should be off. I don't know why that snuck on. This is on least. All of these had to have reset when I selected that when I switched screens. And then inverted flashbang on. So least, third person, and on. Gang, listen, if you're new to the channel, enjoy the content, hit the sub, crush the like, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another heater. Let's get it, gang.